George Rose made a nice night tonight. Grand arrivals, Lewis Crocker, Liam Parro. What do you made of the build-up to this one so far, George?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great kick-off for Fight Week here in Brisbane. Great venue, nice little vibe here to start the week. I wasn't expecting the tension to start as early as it has, though. I think, you usually get to that point by the time you get to weigh in and everyone's hangry and they start to unload then. But I wasn't expecting the words and the tension, the amount of tension that we had in the face-offs here tonight.
What did he say up there? You were nice and close to the action up there?
Yeah, look, there was a lot of talk about who's the underdog and, the fact that Crocker has had to come out here to Australia and fight Liam Parro in his backyard. And it seemed like he wasn't real happy about having to do that. So, understandably so, though. Like, you work your whole life to become a world champion. You want the opportunity to fight in your own backyard.
What did you make of that? I asked him up here and he sort of said that he's been quite subdued this week media-wise because he's had to come out here and you guys won the purse bid. There's no real matchroom presence or representatives here. Any comment on that, George?
Yeah, look, I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would probably feel the same way that he feels. He might not have said it on the mic, but I'd feel like you're travelling into someone else's backyard. He doesn't have his promoter here with him to support him. It would feel like you've been, sent to the other side of the world to face the toughest contest he's ever going to have to face. And Liam Parro is about to take his world title.
How do you see this fight play out, George?
Look, I back Liam Parro the whole way. I think it's an extremely tough fight. Lewis Crocker is a great champion. He earned that world title with the amount of effort and hard work that he's put into it. He's crafted his career to the point where he earned that world title. I think that Liam Parro is a better fighter, and I think that Liam Parro will beat him here on Wednesday night.
What about the purse bid itself? This is a financial risk it's a lot of money you guys paid for this one.
But being a boxing promoter is a financial risk. Being a boxing promoter is for billionaires, and look at everybody across the world. They're all rich men, billionaires, come from money, come from having all that to be able to back them. We came from nothing, so we're against the odds every time against these big guys. So the fact that we got the win in the purse bid, it was massive for No Limit. It was massive for Australian sport. But man, we're coming from nothing, and we're fighting against these guys that have got billions of dollars behind them. So we'll always support our fighters, and we'll do everything that we can to make sure they get the best chance they can get.
If Liam was to get the win there on Wednesday, massive doors open up for Liam Parro.
It's a hell of a division. I love this division. I'm excited that Liam Parro is fighting as a welterweight because I love the champions that are there right now. I love Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, all great champions, all very exciting fights, big fights, really big fights, and I'd love to look at them. I am already looking at them down the track, but obviously Liam's focused completely on his fight, but I'm focused on not only what happens on Wednesday night. We're putting everything into Wednesday night, but I'm looking at them next future fights that sit ahead for him as well.
What about this card coming up next month? Tszyu-Errol, Spence, Jamal Charlo, Cole Mazzutia, and Stephen Fulton, Liam Wilson, mate. How'd you pull that one together, mate?
It wasn't easy, and again, I've got to give credit to my brothers, Matt and Trent. A lot of work's been going into that fight card behind the scenes to get to this point. A hell of a lot of work's gone into that, and every time a new fight was confirmed, mate, I couldn't contain my excitement because all three of them guys, brilliant fighters, big names, getting them in Australia, getting any one of them in Australia, I'm over the moon. Errol Spence Jr., Jamal Charlo, Stephen Fulton, any one of them coming out here to Australia, I'm stoked. We've got all three coming on one card. Like, that's, my year's already made and we're only halfway through it. I told you at the start of the year, we had some great shows to start off the year. I said it's only going to get bigger. We've got bigger shows coming and we've got a big finish to the end of the year. The back end of the year is only going to get better. So the fact that we've put together Australia's greatest fight card in July and it's only going to get better, hey, it's a good year for boxing.
You're going to be a happy man. Oh, happy man, huh? What about the emotional roller coaster Tim Tszyu's put us all on these past few years? You know, we've been to Vegas, Orlando, Vegas, you know, wins, losses, highs, lows. Is this a last chance for Tszyu in a way? You know, does he need to win this fight? You know, how many more bounce backs can he have?
I think for every fighter, you need to win every fight. Every fight you go into it knowing that a loss hurts your career. No matter how you look at it, whether you've got a great promoter, whether you've got great support around you, a loss hurts your career. And so every time you step into the ring, that's the risk that you're taking. It's a risk that everyone's taking. But the reason that boxing is the best sport in the world, I believe, is because this emotional roller coaster that everyone gets on. I mean, you just talked about it yourself. Is the experiences that you go through when you see a young Australian bloke fight his way to the top of the world, become a world champion, and then have to face all the adversity that he's faced, the roller coaster that he's been on, climbing back to the top and earning his place back at the top again. It's a roller coaster of boxing. It's such an emotional sport, and in a sport where one punch can change everything, it doesn't matter what side you sit on, you're always a chance. You're always a chance. And in this fight, Tszyu's about to fight one of the greatest fighters of this generation, one of the best American fighters of all time. Is one of the greatest welterweights of all time. And that's a division that you're talking about Floyd Mayweather, you're talking about Manny Pacquiao, you're talking about Terence Crawford. Those people are in that division. And he's one of the best welterweights of all time. That's who Tszyu's going to fight. And we've got the fight happening here in Australia, in Sydney. So having it in our backyard, we get that little bit of an extra edge on our side, because I know Australian fans will get behind it. But yeah, it's a hell of a sport. It's a hell of a roller coaster that you ride following boxing.
A bit of news around Sam Goodman lately as well. Any update on that situation?
Yeah, no, there's a bit happening with Sam, and we'll have some announcements very soon for that, because again, he's a guy that has continued to push himself against the top guys in his division. While a lot of people will choose to stay inactive and wait for an opportunity, he'll continue to take fights and fight himself into the position that he's in now, where you know, he gets to fight for an interim world title, and we want to make these opportunities happen in our own backyard whenever we can, and we always do our best to make sure that happens. But like I said, we're up against the odds with everybody else that's in the world of boxing.
Last one for you, Nikita Tszyu. Perhaps, you know, August, September sort of region for Nikita. What are you thinking on Nikita Tszyu?
Yeah, look, Nikita's fit and healthy, so once he starts training, I know that they'll call me and tell me you lock a fight in ASAP, and I'll happily do it. Nikita's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of an exciting fighter. So I'm looking forward to locking in a fight for Nikita very soon, and announcing very soon too. So we'll have some good news coming for Nikita.
Nice one, mate. Just a quick one. Denny Green here tonight as well, joining the coverage on Wednesday night. Excited for that one as well?
Yeah, look, I think Denny's been around this sport for such a long time. You know, I don't know how everyone else feels, but for me, one of the greatest fights that I got to experience as a fight fan was Mundine Green 1, and you know, I climbed down from the bleachers, jumped the fence, and then ended up ringside for that fight, and it was one of my favourite viewing experiences as a fight fan. So he's been around the sport for a long time. He knows the sport very well, and it's good to have him sharing his knowledge on Fox Sports and Main Event, KO Sports. So he'll be a great addition to the coverage.
Nice one, George. Appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.